he who neither rejoices nor hates, neither grieves nor desires, and who has renounced good and evil, he who is thus devoted is dear to me. Shri Krishna says that a true devotee is one who does not rejoice when he gets something that he likes, does not hate when he gets something he does not like, does not desire for a person or an object that ordinary people like, and does not have an attachment towards something he has not yet got. Yana yashati ishta prapto nadveshti anishta prapto nashoti priya viyoge nacha apraptam kagshati. This is because he has full faith in the arrangements of the Supreme Soul. Swami Ramsukdas gives a very nice example. A father had 4 children and they were playing in a compound. The father had 4 mangoes. The father took these 4 mangoes in his hands and came to the compound. All 4 children saw that the father had 4 mangoes in his hands. After seeing the 4 mangoes, one of the children immediately started screaming, I am hungry, and began crying. The second child just stared at the mango in his father's hands. The father gave the 2 mangoes in the left hand to these 2 children. He gave 1 mango to the child that was crying and 1 mango to the child who was staring at the mangoes. As soon as the third child saw that his father has given the 2 mangoes, the third child went to the father and asked his father to also give him a mango. The father also gave a mango to the third child. The fourth child did not cry, did not stare at the mango, and did not ask for the mango. He was just enjoying playing and kept playing with bliss. The father himself went to this child and told him, here son, this mango is yours. This is what happens in the world. We are playing and there are some people that just keep crying at the Supreme Soul and saying that, God, we want this. This has happened and that has happened. And they ask for the mango. Upon asking, they get what they want. And it's not as if they do not get what they want. They certainly get what they want, but they are of the first level. As soon as they look at God, then they begin crying and begin asking for things. The second type of devotees are such that they see that the other person is getting something after asking for it and getting something after crying for it. They therefore keep staring at God. God also gives to them. This is because God sees the covetousness and expectations in their eyes. The third types of people are such that they know that others are getting what they want after asking for them, and so they want to try this as well. They think that we should ask for 1 or 2 times as well. They go and see Tirupati Balaji, Jagannath Puri, Srinathji and so on, and the job gets done. There are people like this, and their job is also done because God gives to them as well. But the fourth type of devotees are such that they are engrossed in the Satkarya divine activities that they're doing, and God himself goes to them and says, son or daughter, take this. This is because God knows the plan for his 4 sons, and that is why God came with the 4 mangoes from the beginning. Have faith in him. We say in everyday life that we plan here and there, but God is a master planner sitting up there. In fact, not sitting up there, but sitting in here in our hearts. God is a master planner. One who has faith in God's plans is a true devotee. And devotees have this. That is why they have no delight, no hate, no desires, and no grievances. Vedanta vakyeshu sada ramanta vilakshana matrena chakshusti mantaha ashoka vanta kurunai kavanta kopi na vanta khalu bhagyavanta. His mind is constantly engrossed in the teachings and experiences of Vedanta. He is so content that his body lasts because of the food he receives from alms. He has no desires and is full of compassion. There is nothing that he has gathered, and he is worn just only a loincloth. But if you look at him, then you think that the emperor of the world is coming. This is a devotee. A devotee is so content that his body lasts because of the food he receives from alms, and the matter is finished because what else could he want? He is free from desires. When we hear all of this and we think, wow, what must he be like that he's constantly engrossed in the teachings and experience of Vedanta, he is content with the food he receives from alms, and he has no desires and is full of compassion. We think that this is such a high level to achieve. If this is so, then just read the last line. There is nothing he has gathered, and he has worn just a loincloth, but if you look at him, then you think that the emperor of the world is coming. This is the state of a devotee who has no delight, no hate, no desires, and no grievances. And if he delights, then who can he possibly delight about? If he hates, then who can he possibly hate? The 7th mantra of the Isha Upanishad is Tatra ko moha kashoka ekatu anu pashyataha. What need is there for illusion and desires when one has beautifully seen everyone in the One with a capital O? He has not only seen everyone in the One, but he has beautifully seen everyone in the One and seen everyone in the One with understanding. Such a devotee is of this level. The word Nakanshati is used, and while writing about the word Anakanshati, Srimad Vallabhacharya says that with the feeling that God alone is doing everything and will do so according to his own wishes, he does not pray for being united with things that he likes or for being disassociated with things that he does not like. Bhagavan eva prabhu sarvam vidati vijrena kashati iti bhavena napartaye. People in the Pushti mark say that people should not push the things in their minds and should not have expectations. The secret behind this is this verse in the Gita where the word Nakankshati is used. They are Shri Krishna's words, and behind this there is Mahaprabhuji's commentary that with the feeling that God alone is doing everything and will do so according to his own wishes, he does not pray for being united with things that he likes and being disassociated with things that he does not like. One therefore has to make efforts. And Shankaranandji says that a devotee understands the principle that no action dies without getting the fruit. I should neither hate nor have attachment towards everything that has come into my life. If I have performed an action, then I'll get the fruit of the action, and then when I get the fruit, the action will die. Knowing this decisively, one does not worry about useless things that he may have attained. The next quality is that one has renounced both good and evil. A devotee of course renounces evil, but he also renounces good as well. Bhagavan eva prabhu sarvam vidati vichena kashati iti bhavena nipartante. He renounces both good and evil as well. Papavat punasva api bandha hetu vat visheshat ubaya parityagi. Both of them. Of course he leaves sins, but he also leaves punya, the opposite of sins. The reason for this is that just like sins lead to bondage, punya, the opposite of sins, also lead to bondage. If one has performed evil actions, then the consequence of evil actions is sins. To face the consequence of evil karmas, one has to go to hell. If one performs good karma, then the consequence of good karma is punya, the opposite of sins. To face the consequences of good karma, one has to go to swarg, heaven. But bondages have come either way, whether it is hell or heaven, they are bondages. Therefore it says that one should renounce both good and evil. A human birth is a very special birth. There is a reason why it has been said that Chantunam Nara Janma Dullabtaram. A human birth is very difficult to obtain. An animal is facing the consequences of sins, and the dev, a deity, is facing the consequences of punya, the opposite of sins. But both of them are facing the consequences. Both of them are getting rid of the bondages. An animal is getting rid of the bondages of sins, and the devta, a deity, is getting rid of the consequences of punya, the opposite of sins. But both of them are trying to kapava, cut bondages. It is a word of Jainism to kapava, cut bondages, and to kapava, cut karmas. They kapava, cut their own bondages. It is only a human being who can come free of bondages. You can become free of bondages. Not only that, but during the lifetime of performing karma, it does not only kapava, cut bondages, because we are not the slaves of our destiny. We do what we do through thinking. Shri Krishna said in the 6th chapter of the Gita that Udare Datma Atmaram Natmanam Avadasayet. Let a man lift himself by himself, let him not degrade himself. A devotee renounces both good and evil. Let us go to the next verse. Check if we've got enough time for this one. I think we leave the next verse to the next class. We've got it's about 4 pages. Yeah, we'll leave it to the next class, which is Chandni's doing. So we'll leave Chandni to explain that. So let's do our closing prayers.